Wands Tarot. My name is Carmen, and today we've got a reading for you about somebody who has a lot of anxiety or stress and may be pacing back and forth or just overthinking and not able to decide what makes the most sense as far as the next action. We have the Banshee card. All I could hear was a warning scream. Ignoring the signs won't make me free. So this is someone who feels like they left something too late. They should have dealt with something earlier on, but because of their overanalyzing, they may have been unable to take a step forward towards that conversation or towards resolving the problem. Each thought a labyrinth, endless, obscure. There is no peace amidst this self-imposed torture. So they do this to themselves by probably not asking very many people for advice, or maybe being hyperfixated on details that don't actually make any difference. There's something here they do to compound the problem and make it even less likely that they'll be able to identify the right path or the right decision. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. Hello, Stephen. Hello, James. How are we doing? If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedonestarot@gmail.com. In case I said it too fast, it's in the description box, as is more information on how to become a member. Thank you to the current members. And if you're interested in a candle that I have on Etsy, that is linked in the description box for you as well. Hello, Gianna. Hello, Kevin. Hello, April. Hello, Renee. Hello, Key Controller. Hello, Rachel. How we doing? Let's start with the Golden Lenormand and see what else we've got going on. We have the Heart, number 24, and the Mountain, number 21. So someone who is realizing that their emotional situation is a little bit more complicated than they wanted it to be. Someone who had to decide, are you actually willing to go to great lengths for this, or are you going to just kind of like go back to your normal routine or pretend like nothing needs to change? Hello, Tarun. How are you doing? Hello, Alpha Zone. How are you doing? What else do we have? The Rider, R-I-D-E-R, and the Storks, number 17, which is a card that talks about good news. I feel like there's someone who is traveling. Maybe it's someone who's going to their hometown. Maybe it's just somebody who's visiting friends in the next town over, but there's some news that comes in and it's good news. And it could be about you. It could be about this person who is overthinking about the situation with you. Let's see what else we've got. Hello, Rick. Hello, Oi. How are you doing? Thank you, Rachel. This is the Meta Muse, by the way. Justice and Strength. With the Knight of Cups in the reverse. So there seems to be a real heavy influence on the Justice card here. It feels to me like there's somebody who's overthinking and freaking out about how they did you wrong because they didn't think anything was going to happen as a result of it. They felt that somebody's affection or love for them would keep them safe. But this good news, it's such a contradicting energy to the person who's anxious, which means we have a winner and we have a loser. I'm not going to say that that's what we should call them the entire reading, but we have somebody who's looking at the situation and saying, I didn't win, that person got what they want, and I didn't get what I want. So it's like pouty. But it's worse than that because they also are overthinking in terms of what's going to happen next. So I thought that because you were a kind person, or I thought because you know, care about me, that I could get away with certain behaviors. But it turns out someone lied about having good morals. So this could be like the owner of a company who has a really strong reputation because they like their mission is to do something in a better way for the environment, and then it's exposed that they're actually not representing themselves accurately in that. We could also have, I don't know why I'm not really feeling this as a romantic thing, even though we do have this heart. I feel like this is more so how people see me. People think that I'm this great person, so I don't have to worry as much about whether or not people will find out this secret, right? It's true. How was your weekend, everyone? It's warmer today. I hope it is for you as well. Unless you're in Australia, because I think it's been too hot, in which case, don't do that. Someone lied. So someone who's lied is getting exposed. They're the banshee. They're the person who's upset. And justice is coming in as good news for the people who were hoping that they would be held accountable. So what did they do? Wow, okay. This feels like unrealistic expectations or like hazardous work environment. Someone who wasn't paying what they should pay for their employees. But this is work related. And this Eight of Pentacles is clarifying the Strength card, which is also number 8. I feel like this is for a group of people. I feel like the betrayal impacted multiple people. And the person who is the banshee is someone who's been caught doing what they did to a number of people, not paying them what they should be paid, mistreating them in, I don't know, a nursery home. There's something here where it's like, no, 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 what you did was wrong. You lied about it. You thought you were going to be able to create some sort of illusion. Everyone would be like, oh, okay, that's fine. But there's an investigation or there's some proof here that is coming to light. And I feel like there's a decision, maybe in a court case or like a lawsuit type thing, that is in favor of the people. Another 8 and another 7. We've got the 7 of Pentacles in the reverse, 8 of Swords. I feel like somebody might be going to jail. Or there is a pretty steep fine for what they've been caught doing. And there's a sense of collective power amongst a group of people, even if it's like 3 people. We sued that employer because they didn't do this or they, you know, broke this law. And the boss, Hierophant in the reverse, they didn't follow the rules, therefore they are liable for something. Let's see what else we have with the gold foil tarot. Hello, Cody. How are you doing? Hello, MKG. How's your day? Hello, Jamike. What's going on? Hello. All right. Oh my gosh, is that who I think it is? Hold on. I kind of think that was my bestie. Hold on. Can you unblock it, Rachel? Is that you? She's like, you guys remember when I tell people don't call me mama? The only person who's allowed to call me mama is... So she gets the pass. Rachel's really quick at making sure people don't call me that, just so you know, Liz. No, you're good. You had no way to know. It's fine. I do have a crystal ball, but will disappoint you to know that there's like a little bit of dust on it. Not my forte, but it is, you know, a nice addition to the environment, right? Oh, you're good, Alyssa. You're good. I told everyone you're the one who has the pass. Hello, Eric. How are you doing? We've got the King of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups. Yeah, this is someone who is sitting on a pile of money or feeling self-important because, you know, they're the boss, they're the leader, they're the owner, they're the investor. Maybe for some of you, this is like a family member. This could be like a parent who offers money for tuition, but feels like then that means that they get to like make decisions in your life. There's some decision here that is acknowledging that someone who feels like they should have control or that they should be able to decide how they treat someone. They're being told that's not okay. You're going to have to like reroute that. You're going to have to change that. So we've got Justice in the reverse, Two of Pentacles in the reverse, and the Knight of Wands in the reverse. Sometimes people assume that they're, you know, too cool to end up with any consequences. This is someone who felt like even though things were unfair for others, it was okay because it was what they considered to be fair. I really do feel like this has to do with like a landlord and tenants, or like a boss and their employees. I've got, you know, the key. I've got the ability to fire you. So, you know, go ahead. What are you going to do about it? What else do we have? The Chariot in the reverse and the Two of Wands. Why do I feel like this is somebody who really thought they were going to be able to just keep lying and everything would be fine, or they thought that there would never be any kind of law enforcement or like lawyer looking into the situation? They might actually have friends in, I don't know, maybe that made it seem like they were going to be able to sidestep something that they did. I don't know that I see corruption so much, like bribing someone to not like look at what they've been doing, but it feels like there is a repeat of a problem, and it's like you got a get out of jail free card for that first infraction or that first thing that you did that was illegal or that wasn't fair. But now that we have repeat complaints or reports, now we got to think about whether or not we want to be associating with a repeat offender, you know, someone who's continually not abiding by the laws for employees' rights, or somebody who's breaking the law regarding, you know, what you're supposed to offer as a landlord. I think there's also some concern because there's multiple people who are talking about this, who are saying, here's what I was told it was going to be, and here's what it actually ended up being. Ace of Swords in the reverse, Nine of Pentacles. So I think you're lying. I'm going to go figure out the truth for myself. It's like if you were to tell your parents, it's okay, I got all A's, and they're like, no, I would really rather actually see the report card itself that says what you got for a grade. I can't just like take your, you know, word for it. If you go to buy a house and you're like, I got the money, it's cool, don't you worry. And they're like, well, what about like, I don't know, documents from like a bank or something? Don't you worry. Can't you just tell by like how I dress and stuff? This is someone who felt like they could just like bypass the rules or not have to support like what they actually say with documentation. And now there's someone who's saying, no, we've got Judgment, the Ten of Cups, and the Magician in the reverse. You thought you were cool enough to be able to get away with whatever you were doing, but in reality, you tried it too many times or you messed with too many people. And there's some sort of like union or group of people who are like, you know what, let's just like make very clear, because we have some receipts, what this person was doing that directly conflicts with the law as we know it, or the rules of, you know, I really do feel like it's legal, you guys. I feel that this is like someone who expected you wouldn't know what the rights were in your specific situation. Hello, real one. How are you doing? I see we're going inappropriate. Hey, good luck on that. I would watch Austin Powers. Rachel will know what my joke means, even if nobody else does. Hello, Gianna. I hope your cat is doing well. I miss Mucky the Cats. I think I've shown you guys before. This is Stewie. I should really frame a picture of Hambone. I can't believe I haven't done that yet. But that's supposed to be him in the painting up there. There, the little guy. And he is in a few of my early shorts. So if you look at the section on my page that just has the shorts and you go to oldest, you could probably see me roller skating in my garage and Hambones in the background. We've got the Ace of Pentacles. Hello, Shaggy. What's happening? We've got the Universe and the Five of Pentacles. I do have to kind of censor one of these cards because we got some boobies. But this Ace of Pentacles is giving money, right? I did what I did because I wanted to go shopping. I did what I did because I felt like I could take that money and no one would do anything about it. I did what I did because I got away with it before. But with this Universe, this could be talking about somebody's crimes being repeated in multiple counties, or you did it twice and now that law enforcement team is like, you did it too many times though. Now it's gonna start to cause some problems because we can't quiet all of the complaints at once, right? If you had just done it the once and then moved on, we probably could have just gone on about our lives, but instead you're making things complicated. Hello, Maduras. How are you doing? Hello, Third Eye. What's happening? So we've got Temperance and the Seven of Wands in the reverse. I thought I had everything under control. I thought because I was, cooking the books or because I was making sure that things looked great when the inspector came around, that it was fine. I didn't think there was any vulnerability. I didn't think that anybody was going to cite me or report me. I think they're just a little bit clueless, or they expected things to be kind of a game. Yeah, I know those are the rules, but I'm not going to really do it. Thanks, though. Justice. So heavy Libra energy this reading. And the Two of Pentacles. See how there's money being handed off the side there? I feel like we had somebody who, if I'm in control of everything, or if I'm the person who's supposed to check to make sure things are right, and I decide well, extra for me looks right, then everything's fine. Maybe this is someone being audited. We have the Emperor, Ten of Pentacles in the reverse, and the Prince of Wands. This could very well be about an employer not paying you, or maybe even messing up your 401k. But I feel like there is a payout for a lot of you. If this reading applies to you and you know that somebody broke the law maybe multiple times, or they didn't take seriously harassment law or something, and there were multiple complaints, there's something here where it's you did something multiple times, you broke the law multiple times, you thought, because you got away with it the first time, everything was going to be cool, but now it's getting to look like a serious problem. And the fact that there's finally justice or consequences for this person is considered to be good luck or happy tidings for someone who's been waiting to hear that this is going to happen. Hello, Lemonade. Hello, Marcus. What's going on? Marcus, you're funny. I hope you get your money. I don't know if I can say your name. Like, I appreciate that it's funny, but I also feel like it's slightly disrespectful, as far as like people learning a language. But I'm glad you're here. um, hmm. Oh, Lemonade, I forgot to answer your comment. Yes, it is a Dr. Pepper fridge and cotton candy Dr. Pepper flavor, which I cannot get myself to eat because it's so cute. Like, I want to, don't get me wrong, I'm excited about it, but it's like a little Dr. Pepper corner right now. I kind of like it. I might even hang my sweatshirt over it. We've got the Six of Swords in the reverse. Trouble. Everything was fine. Everything was great. Nobody was catching on. I thought I was going to get away with it. Very Scooby-Doo. And then all of a sudden, multiple people are saying the same thing, so there must be a problem here. I can't ignore it if there's this many complaints. So I'm going to have to go check it out. And if there's something to it, then there's going to be some consequences. And I feel like whoever's investigating this, it's like, well, I think it's pretty likely we're gonna find confirmation of this because this person, like, we already looked the other way once and pretended like it wasn't a problem, but apparently it is. Oh, it's only visible with the members videos because of the wider screen view. When I use my laptop, you can see the red chair. It's sitting on the red chair, but it's not in, I'm not sure I want to show you. I mean, I cleaned and whatnot, but. Oh no. All right, what have we got? The Queen of Cups, the Princess of Pentacles, and the Two of Swords. I love this Two of Swords so much. Most of the Two of Swords is just somebody sitting boring, you know, crossing the swords in front of them. But this person, I can like hear the like, hey, yeah, like, I'm about to roundhouse kick you. So while I'm quite amused by that, I think it actually indicates that someone is feeling a bit of a kickback. I don't know, a little, or is that a corruption scheme or word? I feel like this is somebody who rushed and felt like everything was going, and it's like they're hiding things, right? Felt like nobody was noticing that they were getting away with so much. And then all of a sudden, we have someone running through and they're like, no, we have proof. We know what you've been up to. We know you did it the first time too. But we wanted to see if you were going to go back for more. And you did, and that's illegal. You stole some money, or, you know, you broke the law in terms of what you have to provide for your tenant. When I first moved into a place, my mailbox didn't work. And I don't know if you know this, but it's required by federal law. If you are a landlord, you have to enable your tenant to receive mail at that address. And like the key was broken or whatever. So I literally like couldn't get into the box. And I was like, hey guys, this is kind of important. Could you like fix that? And they're like, we'll get to it. And I'm like, oh, actually. And I literally quoted the statute. It's against federal law, so I'd appreciate it if it was a priority. Can we still be friends though? Oh, that's awesome. I'll have to check that out, Marcus. Hello, Vic. How are you doing? Vic, do you have Riz? Do you have proof? I'm just messing with you. So we have Death and the Six of Wands in the reverse. Somebody who assumed that they had been successful, someone who was probably even a little bit like obnoxious, bragging about their victory. Like, haha, I made so much money. What are those people doing with the handcuffs over there? I'm not going to do, I haven't done, well, I did that one thing. This is someone who did not expect there to be consequences because for so many times or so many years, they did not have any issues. But there's a union or there's a group of people that are like, this is a problem. Oh, yeah, I've had that problem too. And then somebody else, I've had it too. So they can't avoid it anymore. Let's go with the situations deck. Excellent answer. Hello, John. How are you doing? Hello, Nathaniel. I love that you're so consistent. You use the same greeting. We've got retaliation, punish, payback, revenge, drama queen, thirsty, causing chaos. Yeah, I'm tempted to talk about a real life example of this, but I'm not entirely certain what I'm allowed to say. So I'll just say this. If you point out to somebody, whether it's a landlord or an employer, hey, that thing you're doing right there, that's illegal. Did you know that? You probably don't want to come across as dismissive or like rude as I just did, but I do feel like we have somebody who, even if you say it as polite as possible, this landlord or this boss is going to be like, I don't have to do that. I don't care what you tell me. I'm going to smoke around making the food. That doesn't bother me. They're causing the problem, or they're not fixing the problem because they don't take it seriously. And when somebody says, hey, you probably shouldn't do that because it's illegal, they don't think that you're actually going to file any complaint. They don't think you're going to take any action. So they're just kind of like, watch me or hold my beer. Nightlife, gamble, take a risk. They take a risk because quite often when this person takes a risk, they get away with it or they get something they wouldn't otherwise have had. So they're a little bit emboldened by the rules not always applying to them. And they take a risk. They keep doing this or keep paying you less or charging you too much until a problem happens. Somebody moves out or something changes ownership. Maybe the company is purchased by someone else and they have a close look at the books. Maybe there's someone who marries a lawyer and this person's like, hey, did you sign this lease? Did you know this is illegal? There's something here where there's a change. I just said maybe you marry a lawyer. That commitment card though, let's be real. Let's acknowledge that this could actually be talking about the lease itself, right? This could be a contract, like an employment contract. But for some of you, there's a person that you're in a relationship with who gives you some insight into how to make sure you get the most from the situation or that it's fair, right? I feel like there could be someone who ends up in jail. Because this is a person who, it's like there's documentation. You ask this person to address something that is illegal. By the way, do it in an audible form. Send that person an email. It could be real easy to tell that person in the hallway, hey, you're messing up. That's against the law. But guess what you can't do? You can't always show that as evidence. Maybe if you're taking a video, that might escalate the situation. You could just send an email and it has a nice little timestamp on it. It says, here's when I told you you're breaking the law. What you gonna do about it? Because they did not stop, because they did not address the issue when they're told, now there's a risk of legal consequences for them, and I feel like they're not necessarily prepared for those consequences. Dang, they're just like really hitting home that this person's toxic. They don't really seem to care if they're causing problems for other people, and it does feel like this is in some way impacting safety or security of children or health of children. I'm not going to say too much other than I do remember a reference in Dexter Resurrection to a landlord who was not doing their responsibility, and it was impacting a child, so that's what I saw. But hopefully I did that in a way that there's no spoilers. We have negotiator. Yeah, no, I asked you to fix that thing like a week ago, but now that I've actually reported it, now you want to go fix it, and then you're begging me to try to, like, you know, resolve this without involving the courts. No, you let it get this far by specifically telling me you were unwilling to address it. It's like, you can't have it both ways. You made it necessary for me to involve the courts because you did not want to listen to me when I said that was illegal. At least that's what it looks like in this reading. So now this person's going to learn the lesson the hard way when they could have at least listened to you and changed their behavior when they had the chance. Oh, that's so sweet of you, Marcus. Thank you for being so generous. I'm sorry you've had issues with that, Gianna. Haven't spoken to her in a while. Cheated on me with my best friend. Oh, that's so rough. I'm sorry you went through that. Gianna, so I've read a little bit of what you've been putting in the live chat, but if you want to make a specific question, I'm happy to write that down for you. I do have your name written down, and it's already 31 minutes, so I'll probably start those pretty shortly here, okay? Hello, Octo. How are you doing? We've got Visionary. There's one person here in this reading who says, you know what, if we're all having the same problem, why don't we like band together? And I do remember hearing a story back when I was in Minneapolis that there was a real lame landlord and the tenants banded together. They found some way, don't ask me to tell you what it was, but they literally took over ownership of the building because of what the landlord had failed to do. So with one person's efforts to understand the law and approach things in the most advantageous way, they ended up like really making out. Hello, Apurva, how are you doing? What will this year be like for me? I got that for you. Awesome. What else? The Blood Moon. We had these same two cards the other day. Illusion, uncertainty, confusion, secrets, egotism. I mean, I'm not gonna say this doesn't apply though. I think we do have somebody who is like pretty egotistical. They were sitting here thinking, oh, I'm breaking the law and someone told me that I shouldn't. And they're mad about it, but I feel like I can still keep doing it. Like, okay, that's wild. They didn't stop. But I do feel like, I think it's at least 3 people have the same issue and they're making their reports and you can't deny that anymore. So this becomes, instead of a rumor, it turns into knowledge. Okay, now we know this is what's going on. Now we know this is what's, you know, deemed acceptable behavior by this landlord or this boss. Yep. This is like justice in this deck. Fate, 23, cycles, alignment, decisive moments, opportunistic events, also like the Wheel of Fortune. That's why I feel like there's one person who's like the banshee, like, oh, I can't believe the law is actually going to cause consequences for me. I thought I could just break the law and it would be fine. Do you like my stupid voice? And instead they can't. And there's a group of people. What was the best one? I think it was from this tarot deck. There's a group of people that's like, no. We deserve to have like legitimate work environment, no unnecessary hazards, or we deserve to get paid what we have earned, or we deserve to have good living conditions, right? And since you haven't figured that out on your own after we advised you that it was an issue, we have worked together to figure out a way to make you fix that problem. Oh, well, are you sure? They're mad, but they're gonna have to deal with this. They're gonna have to face the consequences and make some changes. Yes, happy birthday early. I hope it's wonderful. Hello, Enlightenment. How are you doing? Let's see what we've got for Gianna, shall we? What will this upcoming year be like for Gianna, please? Nine of Swords in the reverse. The Magician. The Lovers in the reverse. Eight of Wands and the Page of Pentacles in the reverse. This feels to me like you get over someone, and when you let go, maybe it's just forgiveness, right? It doesn't have to be an ex, but I feel like this is something where you're looking at the situation like, man, I'd really like to stop thinking about that and asking myself, how could that person treat me the way that they did? Or how could they like just walk away from the mess that they made? We've got this like, maybe I don't need to know why. This is you, the Magician. It's like, you know what? I think I could let this go. I think I could forgive this person. I think I could focus on other things. I got all these other opportunities and all these capabilities and strengths. I don't even need to be like super worried about what happened in that situation anymore. Let's just let it go. Yeah, it didn't work out, or I didn't get that job, or that person didn't choose me, but it's okay. And that's because there's other things coming in for you. So I do feel like there's new opportunities, meeting new people. But with the Page of Pentacles being in the reverse, there's like a warning here that you might have a lot of opportunities, or you might have somebody who pursues you and is very interested in you, whether that's for employment or love. And you might be like, stay over there. I don't know about you. Thank you, Enlightenment. I appreciate that. So let's see if it's a good choice to keep this. Well, I mean, it looks like for one of them, it's a good thing. Oh, okay. They just keep dropping out. That's weird. Look, I feel like you've become better at knowing when people should be in your inner circle or should be prioritized and should not. But we got to make sure that you also accommodate for people kind of like surprising you and being maybe a little bit more amazing, a little bit more trustworthy than you thought. With the Six of Cups, I feel like there's going to be a new friend who feels like an old friend. There's going to be someone that you meet, and it's a person that is able to understand you quicker than you would expect. Despite being like this new connection, they seem to really just like get your jokes, or you have a lot in common. But there's also someone here that it is a good idea for you to be a little bit hesitant with. And I feel like this is someone who is interested in a one-night stand or a situationship. What about this King of Wands? Ten of Swords, Six of Wands, and the Ten of Cups in the reverse. So this is someone who would interrupt your healing or interrupt the things that are like going well. What should I compare this to? I don't know why, but this is the example. Maybe this applies to you. If you are having a little dance session because, I don't know, you're cleaning or you're cooking, or you just have some time and you really like dancing, and then someone like comes in and like taps you on the shoulder, like maybe you got like headphones on or whatever, you've been able to tune out the world, you're having a great time, someone comes in and they're like, hey, you have to put out the garbage tomorrow. And you're like, that's tomorrow. Why did you have to tell me right now? Did you not see I was having a great time? You had to like burst the bubble? Now I have to start the song over again. I was having like the right rhythm. I didn't look like a total idiot when I was dancing to it. I don't know if I could do that again. There's something here where it's like, don't interrupt me for that nonsense. And I feel like it's because there's someone here who's interrupting your healing and trying to get some time or like pursue you, and they're a waste of your time. It's like, you didn't need to talk to me at all, or this could have waited until tomorrow. Get out of here. So just be cautious. It sounds like you will be, but also know that there's a good friend that you're going to meet this year. And this is going to be somebody where you're like, are you sure we met this year? This is weird because like it seems like you really know me. Hello, Edwin. How are you doing? Hello, Song. What's up? I hope you're having a good day. Hello, Zats. What's going on? Yeah, I hope that helps, Gianna. All right. Shall we do a couple of romance cards? We've got Valentine's Day kind of on the horizon. So go ahead, pick a number, 1 through 4. You don't have to put it in a live chat, or you can. But I'm going to pick 4 cards from the Romance Angel Oracle, and we'll see what we've got for the connection that you're thinking of. Let me write down Apurva's question also. Does animal... Oh, did he ever have feelings? Ever have feelings for me plus current? Thank you, Apurva. All right. Are you ready for pile 1? For pile 1, we've got let your friends help you. Ask for and accept support from others. So if you chose pile 2 for your Valentine's Day crush, what do we have? Honeymoon. Dang, things are escalating. Like in a good way, I guess. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. So it definitely comes through as very romantic energy, and like you're on the same page. You're both interested in something serious. What do we have for pile 3? Love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. Look, I gotta be real. That's a nice sentence and all, but being romantically attractive is great, but the self-respect is important for so many other reasons. Just like you being able to get through life without putting up with people who feel like you're a doormat, being like number 1 probably. But yes, also, if you respect yourself, there's probably more people who are going to be attracted to you, or at least worthwhile people, because they see that you're not out here you know, not really following through on your morals, or they admire the confidence. So yes, let's move forward with the loving yourself and the self-respect, okay? Yes, and so you can love others. Hello, Serum, how are you doing? It's just a donation, usually just a couple of dollars. Hello, MKG. I won't let that get to my head. Definitely times where I say something pretty lame. You guys want to know the worst one? It's really bad. It's really dumb. I asked somebody what their 9-day-old baby's favorite food was. Dumbest moment I've ever had, you guys, okay? Look, I'm not good with babies. It's not my thing. Like, congratulations to everybody who's got babies. Take care of them, be good, but like, it's not my thing, okay, you guys? Pile 4, I haven't forgotten about you. Pile 4. It was a real answer, or a real easy answer for the mom. It's like, the only one thing that he's eating right now. Like, cool. Pile 4, we've got heart-to-heart conversations. What's my purpose? Great question. I'm adding that for you, Asiram. We've got Apurva up next after this 4th pile, and then you would be after her. So heart-to-heart conversations. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. So if you have number 4, then it's time to have the chat perhaps, or it's time to see if there's a way you can more clearly discuss your boundaries or what you're looking for. Thank you, Darnell. It was not my finest moment, but it is really funny to tell other people. So there's that. Thank you, MKG. Welcome to the membership. All right, let's see. Oh, I missed Lee. Hold on. Hey, Lee, how you doing? Procedure on May 8th. I hope it goes well. Well, I love results. So Asiram, I was wrong. I have to do Apurva, Lee, and then you. Please forgive me. I like to go in order. Hello, Frank. How are you doing? Thank you, Marcus. Appreciate you. All right, so Apurva, we've got did Anmol ever actually have feelings for Apurva? Yes, but this is someone who chose to keep them secret or feels uncomfortable with people knowing about it. And I do feel like this is someone who tried to make it seem like it was just a physical attraction. If I minimize the feelings I have for you, then it won't have as much damage to my life. So they didn't want to admit how much they feel for you. What about current feelings, please? 5 of Swords and the reverse. 8 of Pentacles. If I want to make things right, if I want to pursue something with Apurva, then that means that it's going to require a lot of work. It's going to be difficult. And it may also mean that I have to move, or it may mean that there's going to be people who feel like they need to rush in and try to convince me to change my mind. So this is like contemplation over whether or not it's worth it to take the risk, or if those feelings should just remain secret, right? Hello, Brian. How are you doing? Apurva, remember you deserve someone who's willing to, like, you know, proudly claim you, not be nervous about it. Let's see what we've got for Lee. For the procedure on May 8th, will Lee love the results? No. I would rather give you a different answer, but I'm not going to give you the wrong answer. There's something here that needs to be changed. I don't like this. We have the 3 of Swords and the Moon in the reverse. 3 of Swords is like betrayal. Moon in the reverse is not great intentions. So the way I'm looking at it in my mind, or what I see, is a liquor bottle that has been filled with a different type of liquor. Usually it's, you know, you have the nicer brands and they pour the cheap stuff in it, right? This is like someone who's cutting corners. 8 of Pentacles in the reverse, 7 of Wands. Three of Wands, Justice. I feel like this is encouraging you to reconsider where you're going for this, because it's not the most reliable individual. Like I said, we have somebody here who's willing to cut corners, 8 of Pentacles in the reverse, or somebody who doesn't have the certification they tell you they have. So this is saying, be cautious, reconsider this. There might be someone who's better equipped to do that. With the Hermit, there's an expert out there, but it doesn't seem to be the one that you are working with. I'm doing well. Thank you, Brian. All right. We're going to, oops. Oh, it's this one. Be cautiously. I hope that you're able to figure out what this is referring to, but also that the eventual answer is that you're happy with what you got. Let's see what we have for Asiram. This is the Tarot of the Cat People. What is Asiram's purpose? Knight of Wands in the reverse, King of Pentacles in the reverse, Five of Wands in the reverse, Nine of Cups. I feel like you inspire people to better understand the magic they have within them because maybe you're just a little bit different. Look, I'm not exactly normal, okay? And I embrace that. So don't feel like I'm over here like insulting you. But I feel like there's something here about you being very confidently yourself that enables other people to see that maybe they too could just be like themselves. Hello, James. Thank you for the tip. Good news on my case this week. I've added that for you. Thank you, James. We've got this Nine of Cups, and I feel like this is saying there is a very committed willingness to be hopeful, even if at times you don't realize it. You're able to... Have you ever seen The Shawshank Redemption where he has to crawl through the tunnel of poo in order to escape the jail? That's what it's showing me for you. You get through these difficult times because you know what lies at the end of that, and it's worth it. Ooh. Oh, no. That's a quote from the movie. You can unblock Shaggy Moorbucks. He's quoting Shawshank Redemption. How could you be so obtuse is a quote I believe Andy says to the prison dude. What's the word for the aside from twat? No, you're good, Rachel. Don't feel too bad, but I'm sure Andy Dufresne got excited that I'm quoting his movie. So I'm sorry. Asiram, I want to make sure that we get a little bit more detail here for you. Five of Swords, Eight of Wands, Page of Cups in the reverse, and the Ten of Pentacles. That's interesting. I see you as somebody who goes from not having very much to having a lot, maybe even more than once in your life. But it's interesting because there's almost like a test within you, like the way people treat you when you don't have what you need indicates what kind of karma they're going to have, even if it didn't seem like a pivotal connection for them. You're kind of like almost like a little bit of a karma test for people. If they mistreat you, they don't get to participate in some of the things they would like to or have some of the abundance they were hoping for. There's this Twilight Zone episode with a guy. I don't think I know the name of the episode, but a guy who can get you anything that you actually need in that moment. And that's kind of aligning with your energy here. You have the ability to like subtly grant wishes to people. Maybe there's a timeline on it, but if they mistreat you, they also might lose that opportunity. So you are walking karma, and they don't expect it. Rejuvenation in the reverse, the High Priest, and the Tower in the reverse. You have the ability to protect people from impending difficulty, by providing what it is that they need, inspiration, advice, or in some cases, an actual thing. But if people don't do right by you, if they judge you by how you look or by what you, I don't know, subscribe to that they don't, then they don't get that help. Then they don't get to avoid the problem that's coming their way. So I don't know if you're a fan of Twilight Zone. Anybody out there, if you know what episode I'm talking about, I feel like you're that. It's very similar to the old dude who could get what people needed in that moment. It's like he had like a suitcase, I think, and he would take what you needed right out of there before you knew you needed it. So be very cautious with who you keep in your inner circle. And thank you for checking out my channel. Let's see what we've got for James. James, I know you were asking if I got into yours yet. I hadn't, but now I have. Let's use the Pulp Tarot, shall we? It's such a good show, isn't it? I've got his question. Is there good news on his case coming in this week? Will there be good news for James this week on his case? Excuse me. I thought I could make it without having to sneeze. I did not. Okay. Will there be good news for James this week on the case? Nine of Cups in the reverse, Justice, and Nine of Cups in the reverse. I don't really like it, James. I don't feel like this is going to be something that you consider to be a win. What I'm seeing is instead of like a big splashy, like you get what you want or this is exactly how you wanted things to progress, it's like a more behind the scenes, things are changing. So does this mean somebody's like opinion is altering or changing? The Tower in the reverse is about new perspective. I feel like there's something here that is about to change but has not and probably will not be reflected in this week's updates or information for you. So is this saying maybe next week or the week after that? Patience, my friend. It may not be this week, but I don't think you have to wait too long. Thank you, Marcus. That's funny. Hello, Christy. How are you doing? And thank you, everyone, for the bless yous. Hello, Untamed. Oh, y'all are so sweet. Hello, Takari. How are you doing? So look, we've got some good news that requires a little bit more of a wait. The Wheel of Fortune. So do not get demoralized or do not get frustrated. Find something to laugh at, like people who sneeze funny, to keep you going through that time. But you are going to get some good news. It just requires a little bit more of a wait. So I hope that it's better than you expect. And I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscribes. And thank you for hyping if you're able to. And thank you for checking out my candles. I'll see you later. Doodles.